So start thinking less about the idea there's a market, and start thinking about there's somebody out there, there's an individual, a person out there with real hopes, dreams and ambitions who's looking for something that's going on in the world. They're looking for what might be a really radical, exciting, interesting next step in their life. They're looking to work with someone who's genuine, authentic and cares. And they've got a brain in their head, and they're going to weigh it all up based on their value system, and they're going to weigh it up based on the fact that they're an intelligent individual. So we need to get rid of anything that doesn't treat people as intelligent individuals. In that person's brain, they have something called a something awesome radar, where they're walking through their life going, I wish I could find something awesome. And in reality, most stuff's not awesome. Most stuff is actually pretty bland and boring and crappy. We're presented with so many crap decisions these days. Politics is just crap decision after crap decision. Most products are really bad decision after bad decision. So our something awesome radar is just yearning to meet someone who's doing something interesting and doing something engaging and who's actually going to create some transformation for that individual. So we need to pop up on people's awesome radar. Let me share with you a little example as to how being more awesome can actually be about how you describe what it is that you do. So this is one of our clients, JP. Jean-Pierre Villiers was, when I met him, a fitness trainer charging £45 an hour. And Jean-Pierre, I said to him, tell me, what do you do? And he said, I'm a fitness trainer, I get people to lose weight or put on muscle, I work in a gym near Bank Tube Station, I'm £45 an hour, but I'm less if you buy 15 sessions in one block. Buy. Now, does that pop up on anyone's awesome radar? That's not awesome, right? So I asked JP, tell me about some of the amazing transformations you've created. Tell me about a client who was particularly difficult, but you were able to create a physical transformation, maybe even more than that, for that client. And he told me about a particular client who was a jet-set executive flying back and forth between Hong Kong and the UK almost every week, who had had a massive weight gain as a result of his promotion. So since getting a promotion in his career, he'd actually put on a lot of weight because he was doing business over food and drinks. He was on planes a lot and just living a very unhealthy lifestyle. And actually JP said, I'm going to be the one who creates a fitness breakthrough. You've got enough on your plate. Your fitness is now my problem, not your problem. And he took over full accountability for transforming this guy's life. And he actually would phone ahead to restaurants and order off the menu, so the guy didn't even get to see the menu. Just a chicken salad arrives with no dressing. And he would get on Skype and do video workouts with the guy at 5 o'clock in the morning while he's in Hong Kong, and just a little brief 20-minute workout in between meetings and all that sort of stuff. And we said, let's model that case study. Let's create an awesome business around something really, truly remarkable that you can do. So we changed the pitch to this. We got him to write a book for starters, but we said, I'm an author, an athlete, because he was an award-winning athlete, and I'm a fitness trainer. I run a fitness concierge service that works exclusively with men who earn over £200,000 a year and are gold frequent flyers. We get our clients into the best shape of their life despite the jet-set lifestyle. I'm £1,500 a month, cheaper than an office junior, but I can do more to transform your life than anyone else on your team. Now, what happened is, as a result of that pitch, he suddenly did become awesome to a lot of people. In fact, he became awesome to a smaller group of people, but they were really excited to hear about him. So he halved the number of clients that he was working from about 80 down to about 40 in total, but the revenue in the business went from about £60,000, £70,000 a year to close to £400,000 a year in under 2 years. So by being more awesome, he was able to attract a better client because he popped up on people's awesome radar. His old offering was personal training. His new offering revolved around a cardio trainer, a weights trainer, a nutritionist, a life coach, a photographer, an image consultant, workshops, books, podcasts, all packaged up into one thing that would totally create the transformation for that very specific type of person who was having a real challenge that they needed help with. So he, in every way, he designs his business not around being bland and boring, but being around totally awesome. So that's an example. Number two, get known, liked, and trusted by more people. So this is also a key thing. We go back to our person, our individual, our person with a brain, our person who's trying to make decisions in the world. And inside the brain there is this system that says, do I know you, like you, and trust you? Are you one of me? Are you one of my tribe? Can I trust you to help me create some transformation in the world? And that system, the know, like, and trust system, has a very simple mechanism called the 7-11-4 system. And the 7-11-4 system basically asks the question, and this is research-based, it asks the question, have I spent 7 hours with you? Have I had 11 interactions with you? Or have I been in 4 locations with you? And any combination of 7 hours, 11 touch points or interactions, and 4 locations actually allows the brain to relax and say, you're one of my tribe, you're one of my people, I know you, I like you, and I trust you. So that's the 7-11-4 system. Google did the research around this, and they called it 0 moments of truth, and that was actually mostly about 11 interactions. Another piece of research was about 7 hours, which was about love and bonding, and 4 locations was in that study as well. But 0 moments of truth was Google's tracking of interactions, where they could see people buying something, and then they reverse engineered, went through their search history and had a look at how much stuff they looked at before making the purchase, and they discovered that on average, before people act, they look at 11 different pieces of information before they go off and do something. So a typical journey, before people buy this little package over here, they might look at something online, they might look at their phone, go and watch a YouTube video, read a book, make some notes about it, go and have a look at the Wikipedia page, go to another thing on their phone, attend an event, sit down and talk to someone, and then they buy the package. So people are spending 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4 locations in order to get to the point where they feel confident to buy from a particular brand. So this raises the question, are you prepared and are you set up for this 7-11-4 thing that people want to be doing naturally? Businesses like Tesla are set up for this. So when you go and actually visit a Tesla store, they don't try and sell you a car on your first interaction with them. All they do is they encourage you to play. They want you to get in the car, they want you to play with the touch screens, they want you to go up to the big televisions and pick your favorite colours and interior and exterior. Would you have a sunroof, and what size wheels would you get? And they get you playing and engaging with the product and the brand. They might ask you a few questions, and if you're responding the right way, they'll say, would you like to book a test drive? But they don't book the test drive right then and there. They actually book the test drive 7 to 14 days away, and between the time that you leave the store and the time that you go in the test drive, they send you lots of information. They encourage you to go on their website and custom build your favorite Tesla. They encourage you to go to the YouTube channel and watch the video of the founder explaining the big vision. I encourage you to read up on what Tesla owners say about what it's like to own a Tesla vehicle. They get you behind the wheel. It's not a quick test drive. It's a 60 to 90-minute test drive. And by this stage, you've actually listened to podcasts, read the business plans, looked at what ownership feels like, and it actually seems quite normal that you would actually now be buying a fully electric car that you'd only heard about a couple of weeks earlier. So they do this great thing of 7-11-4ing before they even talk about the product. Some ways that we've applied this. We launched a podcast last year. We have 50 episodes. People typically go through and listen to 5 to 10 of those episodes, and then they can't help themselves. They really want to come and talk to our office about what we could do for their business. But we see them spending 5 to 10 hours listening to podcasts. We want to make sure those podcasts are there. We run big events. We have YouTube channels with lots of content, something like 300 or 400 videos available on our YouTube channel. We run big events. Our big events go for 8 hours, where we talk about strategy and development. Why 8 hours? Because 7 hours plus an hour for lunch, right? We have lots of books that you can go out and read so that you can learn about what we do. So a key question you need to be asking yourself in your business is, am I content gorge ready? Content gorge ready means that if someone wants to gorge content, if someone wants to absorb all the information about your business, are you in a position that you can actually do that? So here's a key question, just to have a look around the room and see who's content gorge ready. Imagine that I block out all of tomorrow, I clear my diary, and from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all I'm going to do is read, watch, learn, listen to anything online about you and your business, and I'm going to absorb as much as I possibly can. Could I actually fill the whole 7-8 hours if I block that out? Who here's business is ready for that? There's 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 or 6 businesses in the room that are actually currently content gorge ready. If you're not content gorge ready, it means you're fighting the human instinct that people have around wanting to gorge out on content before they make a big decision. I'll give you a real life example. A friend of mine, my business partner actually, he wanted to buy the Omega Dark Side of the Moon watch, and he was ready to spend £7,000 buying a stupid watch. And all he wanted to do was go on YouTube and watch a video about how many of them they've made and why they've made them and who are the engineers. And they just want to absorb a little bit of content. And when he got onto YouTube, there was one 30-second video of the watch just rotating. And he thought, there's got to be more than this. So he went onto the blogs, and he couldn't find any blogs about it, other than to say it's available and it's out there. And while he was on those blogs, he started reading up about another watch brand and how they had created only 55 versions of this watch, and it's a commemorative watch, and it's about a particular race. He watched the video, he read the blogs, he tuned into one of their podcasts with the founder or the engineer of the company. Sure enough, which watch did he buy? He ended up buying the watch that he hadn't even heard of before, but he went through a 7-Eleven journey and became more interested in that other one. So you've got to be content gorge ready. The other thing that you can do is use a principle called trust transference. Trust transference is where you align to people who your marketplace already trusts. So for example, even in a technology Tinder-driven world, the number one way people meet their spouse is through friends in common, and then through work, which is another trusted environment. In a social setting would probably indicate friends in common. But online dating and all of those things have dropped they're very, very low. They might be good for dating, but actually where we meet our spouse is through friends in common. So big brands utilize this. Probably the biggest one in the beginning was when Nike did a deal with Michael Jordan. They essentially said, for people who trust Michael Jordan with basketball shoes, they're probably going to transfer that trust onto the Nikes that Michael Jordan wears. Nespresso did that very successfully with George Clooney. Most people don't know this, but Nespresso was launched in 1976 and for 30 years didn't do very much as a brand. 2006, they signed a deal with George Clooney because the CEO had represented that they wanted to embody the brand of a European coffee experience for the mass market urban US person, and the person that they most felt represented the new values of the brand was George Clooney, because he was living in Lake Como and he was a household name in the US. So they got the right brand ambassador, they trust transference. Essentially, because we'd seen George at ER and we'd seen in the magazines and the videos and the movies and all that sort of stuff, we'd spent 7 hours, 11 touch points, 4 locations with George, and then we transferred all of that onto the coffee, and we went, if George says this is the coffee to drink, then I'll switch across and drink the coffee. Some people in the audience are thinking that they haven't had enough touch points with George Clooney just yet. That's how it works. We use this principle. We've always worked alongside some of the most celebrated entrepreneurs in the UK and in the markets that we're in. We always look for local heroes. We align to local heroes. We've found the fastest growing companies in the world, and we've invited them to speak at our events. So we have Tesla this week, actually. We're taking some of our top clients for a behind-the-scenes excursion to Tesla, where we're actually taking 20 of our top clients. We're going to Tesla HQ. We're meeting with the European general manager of Tesla. We're talking about how they build culture, how they innovate, what are some of the things that make Tesla a unique place to work, and how they grow so fast and keep up with it. And these are some of the alignments that we do, because we know that our brand being aligned to trusted brands and fast-growing brands, there's a transference there. We win a lot of awards for the same reason. We have all the accreditations for the same reason. We want to demonstrate publicly to our marketplace that we're a very trusted brand. I'll just skip through a few slides. Number 3 here is the use of effective technology. So let me talk about the use of effective technology.